Welcome back to Viewer's Voice. So, for this episode, I want to speak about the underuse of words and phrases. Now, a while back, I made a video similar to this, but like the complete opposite, where I talked about the overuse or oversimplifying certain words and phrases, such as like "I love you," right, or anything along the lines. Those being the kind of phrases that people use a little loosely, or not loosely in the terms of like, oh, they're just saying it often, but in a way of like where it lacks the value and meaning that it holds. Where, in terms, if you use the word or phrase "I love you" without understanding what love is to you, at least, then it's like you have no real comprehension of the words and phrase you're using. Whereas someone else, it can mean something completely different, hold a lot more value, hold a lot more weight. So when they say it, it's a lot more impactful than when you say it. Or since they say it so like inconsistently, where it's like 1 minute they say it here, the next minute it takes a while for them to even, use those words again. Whereas you say it on a day-to-day basis or a hourly basis, now it's like you understand when they're saying it, they mean it with a lot of different intent, with a lot of truth and a lot of meaning. Whereas when you say it, not saying that you don't say it with a lot of truth and meaning, however, since you say it so often, it could lack the meaning the more it's used. But that's not always the case. But in terms of underusage of words, that's where it's like the meaning and the true impact of not using certain phrases, it's always going to remain prevalent. So, for instance, if you're somebody that very values the words that are used to you, or you pay attention to a lot of the communication that you and somebody else may share, and you notice that you speak a lot of like upholding words, and you put so much power into them with the words that you use. However, you notice that whenever you speak to other people, they don't do the same for you. Whether they don't say the same kind of things as you do, whether a lot of the things that they say are very limited and how much they could have worded it a lot better, those kind of things. So, for instance, if you're somebody that really needs reassurance, a lot of compliments, and upholding words and messages, you will value when someone tells you that they're proud of you or things of that nature. Whenever somebody says that they're proud of you, that they love you, that they see the work that you're doing, you appreciate that, as many other people would, because those are things that you don't really hear often. Now, I love you could come from a lot of people. It could come in a lot of different shapes, a lot of different forms. Sometimes it might even come in words, but it probably has more appearances than I say the phrase "I'm proud of you." I don't believe "I'm proud of you" um is as relevant. I don't see it occur too often, whether it's in my life or whether it's someone else's life. I do try to make it a point to use it or to notice if other people use it, because it's one of those things that just kind of really fly over. And some people it might not matter, but it makes a difference. And when you hear it, you'll notice like, wow, this is the first time someone has said it to me, or at least the first time someone has said it to me in a long time. Whereas you probably never heard it in the past years, or the past thing that you've done. You haven't been commended for your work, that kind of thing. So when you finally hear it, it's like, wow, like this person notices what I'm doing. This person sees the work and the stress I'm going through, and they want to commend me for that. They want me to feel better. They want me to notice that they're noticing what I'm doing, and that's very meaningful. However, a lot of these phrases, a lot of these terms are underused. They're not said as often as they should be. Or something as like, "You're a really good friend." I'm not sure how many friendships be like that. I mean, sometimes it's very understood. It's a mutual understanding. But even every now and then, it's very important to acknowledge the people that you have in your circle and the work that they do for you, because it's for them. It's even nice to know that, okay, I'm actually a good friend. I'm not as bad as I chop myself up to be, or I'm actually really impactful to this person. So the fact that they're comfortable enough to speak to me on a friend level and let me know like, you're a good friend, like you're helping me a lot, is really important. But to be fair, I'm not sure if a lot of people will do that. I'm not sure if a lot of people will have that mutual understanding or whatever they have in their friendship. But like I said, even in most friendships, it's kind of like a mutual understanding that like if I speak to you on a day to day basis, or I acknowledge your presence a lot, or we go out and we do a bunch of different activities, at that point it's kind of like just basic understanding and basic knowledge that I really I really appreciate your presence. I really enjoy your company, and so many other things. But where these kind of lack of phrases really come into play, it means something and make a heavy difference, is when it comes to like people that you deem very close to you, as will most things be. Obviously, when you have somebody that's very close to you, or you figure is like the closest somebody can be to you, and they still refuse to do certain things, or you just notice they don't really do a lot of different things. Obviously, it could always boil down to something completely different. Maybe when they're raised, or in their life, they don't really experience these kind of things either. So it wouldn't really make too much sense for them to kind of do those things, considering that they don't even experience it on their own terms. But even then, it's like when you notice that kind of thing, you notice that this person, as close as they are to me, or as close as they say they are to me, they don't really show how much I mean to them, or they'll make it known at all that they want to mean something to me, or something of the sort. And of course, it does vary person to person. But I believe when someone is trying to be close to you, or they're trying to make it known that you guys share a close bond, they will do that. They will make it known. They will tell you. It might not be frequently, it might not be all the time, but in some way, or at some occurrence, they will make it known that, okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate all the work that you do for me. I appreciate how much you help me grow, help me see new things, help me want to experience new things. And if anything, I want you to experience new things with me, right? Now, some people obviously might not feel comfortable saying things like this, which is normal. It's natural. Sometimes it's very odd to want to open up to certain people. That's why it's like friendships, as close as you are, or for how long you've known this person, you might just not openly say, "Oh, like I love you as a friend," or "I really appreciate you as a friend," or "I see the work that you do, and as a friend, I'm here to commend you for it. I'm here to give you a round of applause." These kind of things aren't as frequent, but in some way, or in some language that you guys share, it should be. Right? Obviously, everyone has their own way of communicating with each other. So as a friend, you might usually clown your friend, or joke around with them. So everyone has their own distinctive language that they share. So in that language that you have, you can at least make it known, or express some type of gratitude for that person. But like I said, when it comes to people that are close to you, obviously you don't really need to share like a specific language. You could just tell them. You could tell them in the language that you both speak, you know, and just really make it known to them, like, okay, yes, I appreciate you as a significant other, as a very close friend, as a parent, as a guardian, as a family friend, whatever. You could make it known, like, okay, I've known you for some time, or even if I haven't known you for some time, in the short time, whatever time that I have known you, you made a big impact on me, and I want to make a big impact on you. Or as much as I haven't known you for this lengthy period, recently I've been seeing you do a lot of work and take on a lot of different stress, and a lot of different material, and a lot of different situations, and I've seen you overcome all those. And yes, I want to applaud you for that. I see the work that you do, and I'm proud of you for that. Now, obviously, these kind of things aren't, like I said, they aren't frequent, but they could be, and they should be, because a lot of people need it. Even people that don't need it. Some people could do their best work without hearing anything from somebody else, because they don't need it. They might tell themselves that. They might be able to tell themselves, "I'm proud of myself," and that might be all the motivation, all the fuel that they need to keep going. Therefore, they don't need to hear anything else from anybody else, because they know that within themselves, they can appreciate the work that they do, and they value themselves highly and heavily, to where, yes, even if someone else says something of the sort, yeah, it's nice, but cool, I've been telling myself that for a long time, so I'm good. But even then, that's not always the case. Someone else could need that. Someone else could need that. Or even if they're like on autopilot mode and they're doing a lot of work, they themselves might not realize how great of the work that they're doing. They're just doing it. Maybe because of the standard that they set for themselves, or the standard that someone set for them. So when someone else comes out of their way and be like, "Oh, I'm very proud of you. I saw to you. You're doing great work." I was like, "Oh wow," you know. it all comes back to them. It's like a realization. Like, I have been doing great work actually, but even in myself, I haven't been able to notice my great work just because I've been doing so much work recently. Where it's like I haven't really took the time to notice that I'm actually doing a pretty decent job. However, you took the time to notice that, and you took the time to come to me about it, and even express how much you see the work I'm doing, and how you want to, give me my flowers for it. That means something, And like I said, it means something a lot more when it comes from a person, someone that you truly value, someone that you truly deem very close to you, and someone that you want to even like stand out for, someone that you want to make proud and that kind of thing. But when they don't come to you and show that they're proud, then it's like you feel some kind of way, or you may feel that you're not doing enough work for them, And obviously, you don't need anybody else's validation, but sometimes that validation is very great to have, because some people don't have it within themselves, or maybe their own validation isn't always enough, so they want to know that their work is actually good in other people's eyes. Once again, that validation might not always be necessary, because at the end of the day, who really cares? Just know within yourself that you're doing great. But sometimes it's very hard to see that. It's very easy to be blinded, especially if you're constantly busy dealing with a lot of different stuff. You might not even notice how much you're dealing with and how much you have to do. So when someone else does, it makes a difference. But I'll say that's going to be all for this video. I appreciate each and every one of you for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.